Hey folks, welcome. I'm Kurt, aka the Vitruvian Gamer, and I'm here with a new video where I talk about a top 10 kind of thing. It is my Essen Spiel 2018 most anticipated list. So the way this is going to work this time, I've done these things before, is I have 5 expansions that I want to show you. That I'm interested in. I want to show you about 13, I think, board games that are interesting my fancy. So that's what I'm going to do. So Essen Spiel is coming very soon. I will be there. I will be there from Wednesday until Sunday. Most of the time I arrive somewhere in the afternoon on Wednesday. I drive really well. I take my time driving there. It's only a 3-hour trip for me, but I take my time so that I'm don't get tickets and don't go get accidents and stress, especially that. So I go there. I already get into the halls, walk around a little bit, say hi to Portal Games, where I will be helping demoing games. Well, only one game apparently. They are planning to demo Monolith Arena and Monolith Arena and Monolith Arena there. So I will be working there, demoing on Thursday all day and Friday in the afternoon from 2 to 6. And I will be demoing at 2 tables each time. So that's going to be spicy. And most of the time I leave back home on Wednesday somewhere in the early afternoon, just to be fresh to drive home, because it's after very tiresome days, and I always notice that I'm bound to arrive in Antwerp again, that I'm really tired, and I don't dare to drive at night or in the evening and only arrive late. It might be too dangerous, and I have to be smart. So each of you that are going to go to Spiel with the and take the car, be careful out there. All right, so let's continue with the list. I have my laptop somewhere here, and I forgot to take the list, of course, because that's how I prepare. Well, I'm a little bit prepared, but then I forget to open it. All right, first of all, we have some expansions, and the first expansion, let's get it out with. So this is an expansion by Portal Games. So I'm a little bit biased, maybe, although this is one of the games that's one of the reasons why I volunteered for Portal Games, because I love so much of their games, and they're bringing a new expansion for Imperial Settlers this year called the Amazons, and this is apparently a very cool one. Some people played it already, some big people in the YouTube industry, board game YouTube industry, and they seem to like it very much. Also, the designer Ignacy Cevicek really likes this expansion apparently, and it has some kind of deck building during the game mechanism, so you're creating the best possible way with the cards that you have. A little bit, I don't know how it works exactly, but it sounds cool. It sounds a little more advanced. Maybe it might be interesting for people who really are into this game and want a little bit more to it. Another faction, always cool for this game. All right, so that's one expansion for you. The next expansion is Clank in Space Apocalypse. So this is an expansion for Clank in Space. So there are 2 Clanks, as you might know. You have the normal Clank, which is in the fantasy setting, and you have Clank in Space, the sci-fi setting. Now, gameplay wise, I prefer Clank in Space, and that's why I'm really looking forward to this expansion. This expansion will add more cards, will add a mechanism with these schemes that are in there, and if you pull out black cubes, so you have a bag with black cubes and sometimes your own cubes, which are clank, your noise that you're making. If you draw your own cubes, you get damaged by the big bad alien. But now, if you pull out black ones, nothing happens. But this time, the black ones will go on these schemes, and if they are filled up, they will trigger certain things. So pretty cool. We already played with the app, which already does something like that. Depending on the things you do during the game, stuff might happen, but this might add something more to it even, and looking much to it indeed. All right, next expansion is, I have to search a while. Oh yeah, Merlin the Archer expansion. So this was a surprise for me. I think a couple of weeks ago, suddenly Kickstarter Merlin the Archer expansion. I was like, okay, let's find it out. Wanted to back it, of course, until I noticed that it was just for sale. It would be for sale at Spiel, so I decided not to back it and pay shipping costs. So I will be getting that there. The thing this does is it will add an Archer figure. So you already have a Merlin figure running around that can go clockwise and counterclockwise. Now you also have this Archer figure as well. I'm curious. I think it adds a die for that figure as well. So you're rolling a die more, I think, and I'm pretty stoked. It also changes the middle of the board, the rondelle. So well, I'm curious, and I will definitely get this one home. Oh, another one is the next one, number 4 here is, and they're in no particular order. I think they're alphabetical. I'm not sure. Is for Flamme Rouge, Meteo expansion, which just adds weather phenomena. So wind and side wind and storm and all those things. So it might be interesting, might change up the game a little bit. We played the game a lot when the Tour de France was going on, and I was feeling a little bit tired by it after a while, but now a new thing, the weather might bring back. I still love the game, by the way, but the weather expansion might put new life into it even. So that sounds very, very cool. I'm eager to have this one. And last but not least, maybe least, but still it is a cool game. So this is the expansion for Shards of Infinity, and it's called Relics of the Future. So Shards of Infinity is this cool small deck building game. It plays 2 to 4 players, but I think it's probably best with 2 players. It's really similar to Star Realms, but it might change more and more with these expansions. This expansion will add more cards and something that are relics. I'm not sure what they do, the relics, but more cards for this game. I'm very stoked about it, and if it adds a little bit more to it as well, then hey, I'm in, and it's only 10 euros, so this is also pretty cheap, so I will be taking this one home. So that's the games that are on my expansion want to have list. So now I will go back to the start of the list, and let's see what are the games that I interested in. And also this is not a top 10, so I'm going to do them alphabetical again this time. Why? Because I have a hard time putting a top 10 of this together. Before I start this list, I'm sure there will be great awesome games again this year at Spiel, but somehow there is not, I don't think there are many that really are like, this is a must have. So although there are a few that I will not ever be able to resist, but it's not because of the game, maybe it's just because of the designer and stuff like that. But nothing that's really pulling me in and really excites me, but still enough to go to Spiel and probably to spend way too much money. Anyway, the first on my list here is Walking in Burano, which is apparently a spin-off of the board game Burano, and this is a card game in which you are building these houses, these colorful houses of Burano, and all these houses have features on them like cats or flower pots or whatever. And apparently I think you are trying through some drafting, or I don't know how it exactly works, but you're trying to get to some people or tourists to the right house, because some tourists want to see a lot of cats and they won't see the house with a lot of cats. But it looks very beautiful, and well, this might be a very interesting one to get on the table, because the way it looks. So it apparently it is deeper than it looks, so that might be a pitfall. So apparently there is something to this game, so we'll see. I pre-ordered this one, by the way. I haven't paid yet, so if I don't want to buy it, I don't have to, but I'll probably take it home with me. All right, the next one is the first cheat on this list. This one I would definitely go and buy if it weren't that I already had this game, and that's Carpe Diem. This Carpe Diem is a new game by Stefan Feld, one of my favorite designers here. This is how do I have to call it? A tile placement game, actually. So you are when it's your turn, you move your worker on this rondelle-ish thing to one of the spots that you are allowed to move on. That allows you to take one of the tiles that's present there and put it on your player board with some rules to how to place them. And depending on the placement, you might score points later, you might trigger effects, get resources, and so on and so on. And after each round, I think there are 4 rounds, after each round there's a scoring phase. And in player order, well, in turn order, depending on the track on the board, you are going to put your marker between 2 cards, and those 2 cards you will score. But you're the only one who can, and other players have to place their on a free spot, and each round there will be less and less options to score, and if you cannot score a card, then you lose points. Very interesting. You have to think ahead a little bit and be smart about it, place your tiles well, and all those things. We played it only once for now, 2-player game, but I really liked it, and I'm happy to have it, and I would have bought it if I didn't have it already. But the next one is Detective Club. Detective Club is a game by the designer Alexander Nevsky, who is the designer of Mysterium, or Tajemnicze Domostwo, the version I have, the original version. And in this game, it's kind of a mix between Tajemnicze Domostwo or Mysterium and Spyfall. So in this game, there are also these cards with very beautiful artwork, like Dixit style cards of Mysterium style. And one player is going to write down a word and is going to play down one card that has to do with the word that has to fit in that theme. And then other players will play one card as well. Then back to the first player and around the table again. Now, where's the catch here? Well, the player who writes down the word as many times in books as there are players, and only one book he doesn't write the word at all. So one player has no idea what the word is. So he has to figure out which cards to play by looking at the cards that the other people play. And at the end of so each player plays 2 cards, and then each player is going to, starting with the starting player, is going to tell why they played those cards. So apparently that's still a way for the player who didn't know what cards he really had to play to make a story that is believable, because now everybody knows the word, including that player, and make it believable and not being suspicious. Then people will vote on other players to see who they suspect that didn't know the word at all, and well, that's how you can score points. It sounds cool. I'm not sure if it is a game for the people I mostly play with, but I think this might be an interesting one for when we are with a larger group someday. So want to try this out. Right, next one is, it is a game by my friend David Turci, who designed Anachrony. That might be his biggest game. There are other games that he did that are pretty good as well. Haven't played Anachrony, honestly. I don't have the people to play such a heavy game with. And this one is Dice Settlers by NSKN Games. Now, this is a game that uses dice, so you're rolling dice, giving you resources, actions that you can do. It is also tile explore game where you can then place tiles and go exploring, putting tents on the places that you explored so you can get those resources. I don't know exactly how it plays, but it looks cool. It gets really good reviews I've seen, so I'm I didn't back it on Kickstarter. It was on Kickstarter. Was very successful there, and it was too expensive at the moment for me to do so. But I hope to try it out, and maybe I will still buy a copy. We'll see. Next one is Escape Tales: The Awakening. Now this is by Board and Dice. This is a story-driven escape game. I've played this game in a very late prototype version at UK Game Expo in our hotel with the publisher, and at that time I wasn't too excited about it. I was tired as well, but also it didn't feel that special, although the story is pretty cool and I really want to give this one a try. And it's only 20 euros if you pre-order it, and I was like, oh, they say it's replayable, and I'm not sure how replayable this is. But anyway, if you play this game and it takes you a couple of hours and you pay 20 euros, if you play 2 or 3 hours in this game and you finish it, well, an exit game, which you can only play once as well, costs 10 euros. If you play that 3 hours, you need 3 games of that, and it takes you 30 euros. So it's still a decent price in the end. So I think I pre-ordered it today, so I will be having that game, and I hope it is good. All right, next one. This might be the heaviest game on my list. I'm not sure. And it's again a game by Stefan Feld. And this game is the picture you see here is by is from the Hush version, but also Stronghold Games is publishing this, and this is Forum Trajanum or Trajanum. My Latin is a little bit rusty because I never know how to speak Latin. Anyway, Forum Trajanum is a real Stefan Feld game. Looks like this is point salad, getting points by doing all these kinds of things. You have a colonia that you are managing, and you want to have the best one, but you also have to donate or at least put stuff into the forum as well to please the emperor, probably. So it looks cool. It looks like a Stefan Feld game, and that's enough for me to buy this one. Next one is one that I don't have a lot of info about, at least not a lot of pictures, so I only have the cover, and it's Greedy Kingdoms by Hayato Kisaragi and Bruno Faiduti. Now the first name, that's I think the original designer, but because this is a remake of another game, and this is a 2-player only game in which you're playing these character cards each round. So each round you're playing 3 character cards if it's your turn, and the other player does the same thing, and you place them face down. If each player has chosen their cards, you reveal them. If the other player chose the same card, then it gets negated, nothing happens. If it didn't, then you get to trigger that card that you played. And you can, that way you can buy other cards, upgrade your characters, which are can still be negated, because you might have for example, a cook, which but you can upgrade it to a chef. But if the other player, you play the chef, the other player plays the cook, it still negates each other because it's still in the same stuff. Words, hard, difficult. So I'm curious, 2-player game. We can always use one more. So that's why I'm interested in this one. Next one is a very difficult one for me. This is still open on my browser because you can pre-order it, and it is Holding On: The Troubled Life of Billy Kerr. So in this game, which is also a story-driven game, you are these nurses or people working at the hospital, and you're taking care of Billy Kerr, who is sadly enough close to the end of his life. So, and in this game, you are going to try to make these last days as comfortable as possible, while also getting into his life, because he has some demons inside of him. There is some stuff that happened, and you can talk to him. It also takes time, while you might want to take care of him as well. And the only thing that I have a problem with is, I think this is awesome. This team is so original and all that stuff. But I don't like talking and thinking about this team. So it doesn't go well with me, although I really want to try and experience this game. So I'm still considered to pre-order it because I'm pretty sure this is a very cool experience of a game. All right, next one is one that I think no, not that much about. It's called Manitoba, and this one is just interests me because of the publisher, DLP Games, who also did Orléans, and apparently very popular Altiplano, which I haven't played yet because I think I would prefer Orléans anyway. And well, I'm not sure, your tribes trying to get resources and stuff like that. We have this cool totem thing going on here that might do stuff, and it just looks pretty. I'm curious to see what it does. So that's the only thing I can say about it. I'm sorry. All right, next, if we have something, oh yeah, next is one I pre-ordered, and I think I would have pre-ordered it just because of the box, because I think the box art is just pretty cool. It stands out even though it's very simple, and that's the one for Newton, game by Cranio Creations, designer Nestore Mangone and Simone Luciani. And this is might be the driest game in this list, although I have two Stefan Felds here. This board looks dry as hell. The color scheme and a lot of things going on. Also very point sality. I think all the things you do can score you points. It's just to do all these things with scoring more points than your opponent. And you're these geniuses that are trying to become as well known as Newton and all his companions, and you do that by placing your workers, going on trips through Europe, getting books in your collection, and doing this, going on this tech tree which gives you special abilities. It looks, as I said, it doesn't look that appealing, but I think this is a very good game. I'm pretty sure. The Tale of Mystery just passed by again. Alright, do I have something else to oh yeah, this one, you might already have seen it if you watch my Vitruvian live videos, and that's also one that I already got. I got to order this somewhere else, honestly, quite a bit cheaper than it will be at Spiel, so I bought it myself already. It arrived 2 days ago, and it's called Wildlands. This is a game, a very atypical game by Martin Wallace. Now apparently he likes doing things with, because I think I have only played one other Martin Wallace game, but he likes the multi-use cards, which I already also like, so he likes to put that in his designs, and he does the same with this. In this game you are a faction, a group of these adventurers that are trying to claim their colored crystals on a board with different spaces, all numbered, and you are moving around using the cards, you are fighting using the same cards, you are picking up those crystals with the same cards, so you have to hand manage very hard with this game. And the cool thing is that it plays fast. It plays in 30 to 60 minutes because it goes really fast. You win when you score your 5th point. A crystal that you pick up is a point, and an enemy figure that you defeat is a point. And the cool thing is, in your deck of cards there are also these interrupt cards. So someone else might be going for a kill and it does damage to another player's character, and you can interrupt their turn. They have to stop until you stop playing again. And you can move, you say, I move in, I attack now that very wounded fellow, and you score that point. It's a really cool game. Only played one 2-player game. If you see my Vitruvian live, a video called First Impressions, you might notice that the first game wasn't that awesome, but I still know this game is very cool. I feel it. I recognize it, that this is very cool, and we'll be playing this tomorrow with a 4-player game. Next one is one that got added to this list last minute, and it's called Witless Wizards by Drawlab Entertainment, designed by Chris Marling. So there was this designer diary on Board Game Geek, I think 2 days ago, about this game. And it was very interesting because he talked about being inspired by the game Biblios, but by the first half of that game. So because that game has 2 parts, and the first part is it's fairly cool, where the player whose turn it is has to draw cards one by one, and each time he draws a card, he has either to take it for himself, but then he has his card and he cannot take another one, give it to one of the other players, or put it in the middle of the table so other players can draft them, or put it aside for the second round of the game. But that idea of, will I take this card, or will I give it to someone else and hope for a better one? Oh, that I love, and that's what the designer apparently wanted in this game. This has a dueling wizard versus, I think, even alien or technology stuff going on, and it sounded really fun. So now I'm interested in trying it out. Next one was also on my list of Gen Con. If I was going to Gen Con, I would buy this. It was my number 1. I'm not sure it's still my number 1 in this list. By the way, this is the last one of this complete list. And it's Legendary Encounters, the X-Files games. Now, apparently there was some problems with the first print of this game. There were some mistakes in it. They had to reprint it, and the first copies went to the people who already bought the game, so they got their components exchanged, or the game, I don't know. But now it should be at Spiel as well, and I hope I can buy it. It still interests me because it's still my favorite TV series of all time. So X-Files games, I need to have it. I just have to. That's very, very simple. Now, I must say, as the artwork came in and more pictures of the game, I wasn't very excited. I don't mind stills as artwork. I prefer them over very bad artwork like the one in Firefly, the Legendary Encounters game. That was terrible. And this one has stills, but I'm not sure if they took the right stills for every card. I've seen some pictures of some cards, and I'm not very excited about all of them. And also the board looks a little bit bland. Very strange color scheme, to be honest. But on the other side, it adds some more stuff. It adds the thing where normally you have to scan the enemies before you can fight them. This is still there, but now you also have to scan the bureau, where your people that you can recruit are. So that will cost you as well. And the reason that is like that is that there might be double agents in there and stuff like that. So that sounds pretty cool. So, still looking forward to this game, still loving Legendary Encounter system. We just recently played Legendary Aliens, still here by the way, twice, because we lost the first one pretty bad. Wow, we had a bad game of Legendary Encounter Aliens, but then we did a new one and we managed to defeat the scenario that time. So that's Legendary Encounters, the X-Files. Still very excited about this. And that's my list. Now I know what you're thinking. Hey, Kirdy, Mr. Vitruvian Gamer, where the hell is this game? Now I can imagine some games. I can imagine Reef. I can imagine you thinking about Azul, the new one with stained glass. Which one? What else? Maybe let me see if I can think of another title that you might be thinking like, why the hell isn't he talking about this one? I'm not sure if I can. Oh yeah, there are a few. The one that I cannot pronounce, also co-designed by David Turchi, by the way, is Teotihuacan or something like that. This is, I think this game will be too heavy for me and especially the people I play with. Underwater Cities by, oh, I forgot his name. It's the designer of Last Will and those pretty cool games. Let me see. Vladimir Suchi. So this one, I'm not sure. It's also a very complex game apparently. It has a 3.67 rating on Board Game Geek. So I'm not sure if it's something for me in my group. So that's not on this list at this moment. Coimbra. I didn't put this on the list because it's, I don't know why I didn't actually, to be honest. I want to play this first before I buy it, but it looks pretty neat. Some dice drafting game. So I should have put this on this list. but I didn't. Sorry. Nyctophobia is also one of those that are very hyped. The one that you play blindfolded. Well, except for one player, and you have to feel your way out of the forest. Because I heard reviews about it. Another one, what's also so popular? I don't know. Orbis is there as well. Yeah, there are some cool things still there. Oh, the one I didn't. Oh, I forgot to put it on the list. I think because it's another Portal Games game, but I forgot to put Monolith Arena on this list. Monolith Arena is the brother of Hiroshima Hex. I have to demo it, as I already said, and I'm looking forward to play this and to have this in my collection. It's very similar to Hiroshima Hex, plays very the same, but the new factions play again different, and the theme is more colorful, and it might be interesting for people who don't like the post-apocalyptic world of Hiroshima Hex. So that's about it. I think there are, well, just let me know in the comments what you think I missed. I probably had a reason not to put it on the list. There are some big titles, from very popular titles, that I absolutely don't need in my collection. Not because I don't recognize how good they are, probably are, but just because I play mostly not too heavy games. I can get my friends to play some medium heavy games, but I don't think I can get them to play all those heavy games. Yeah, that's something, that's just how it is, and it would be crazy to spend 50 euros or more on a game that just will sit on my shelf. So that's how it will be. I will be buying smartly this year. That's how we do it. So folks, that's it. I think this is already taking quite a bit. Yeah, we passed the 30 minutes, so I'm going to end it here. I thank you all for watching. So let me know in the comments, will you be at Essen? If you are, please say hi at the Portal Games booth on Thursday. I'm there all day demoing, or on Friday afternoon between 2 and 6. I will be there. Besides that, I will be running around probably, and being overwhelmed by all the stuff that's there. I hope to have t-shirts. Well, not for I hope to be able to wear a t-shirt with the channel's new logo on it by then. It will be close to make them on time. We'll see. They're doing it at the moment that I'm recording it, so they're making them, but I'm not sure if I will be getting them on time. So fingers crossed. That's no crossed, this is crossed. Okay. But please say hi to me if you see me. It happened to me at UK Game Expo. I was flabbergasted that people recognized me. It was so cool. So just say hi. I will not say hi first, because for the most of you are just names at this moment, my subscribers, but I would love to meet you. And also I'm very introvert, so it's hard for me to take the first step. So are you going to Essen? Put it in the comments, let me know. And second of all, what are your most anticipated games of Spiel? Put them in the comments, and maybe I will tell you, or I will answer why I did not put it on my list. I might have forgotten, as I did with Monolith Arena. Okay, so that's it, folks. That's it for now. That's the list. Very excited to go to Spiel. I will be there from Wednesday afternoon till Sunday early afternoon. So hope to see you there, and to report back afterwards, of course, just to tell you how it went. Thanks, folks. That's it for now. Hope you loved it, at least liked it, and I hope to see you all back in the future. Bye bye.